What did you say about the war? You're concerned about the war? You're over in a country and men are dying so that you can act like you're there in a country that people are suffering for your people, and you're going to come over here and tell me about the war? My brothers and sisters are over there dying, trying to save your people. Your people are the pains of us, and you're going to tell me, shut up. Okay, honey, we're gonna do this real quick. Where I'm from, we don't hit women, but we do hit other men.
So how I came to wrestling is a little sad. I had left my husband, and it was a bad marriage. It was a bad marriage. And I was alone. And my friend Mike, he came to stay with me and to take care of me. He would visit with me often. And he knew that I didn't want to have a conversation. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to talk about it at all. I needed just to have somebody be there, and I needed to be able to cry, and I needed somebody to not make me feel better when I cried, because I wasn't going to feel better. And Mike just showed me these wrestling tapes. He had taped over all these years and years of matches and collected them as narrative arcs. And he showed me the entire history of Macho Man and Elizabeth. Now, Elizabeth, she was a battered woman. And Macho Man is the one who did it. And I think it was in real life, too, their relationship in real life, and in the end, she didn't die well. And I saw myself in her, and I saw how her being a martyr, and her being sanctified by the crowd for sticking with him, despite how he treated him. And you can always hear people in the audience, and you can hear the announcers, you can hear everybody. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. But nobody ever did anything about it. Macho Man was the hero. And they knew, and they felt awful for Elizabeth. And I thought, my God, wrestling's not fake at all.
I blame Mike Knight. My marriage was all about secrecy. That included being open about being a Muslim. Now I was coming out in public as a Muslim and under a burqa, playing the role of Taqwacor's Rabia in Mike Knight's satiric performance piece, Taqwamania, The Brawl for It All. Mike did a Muslim gimmick, mixing Macho Man, that's him there with Elizabeth, with the Sheik, the Iron Sheik, Sabu, and elements of Shia martyrdom in his battle against Ibrahim Hooper of Care. Ooh, whoops, I mean that Ibrahim Hooper of Care. That's Hamza Youssef acting as a special referee. Me? That's me there in the burqa with a 2-foot-long rubber dildo wrapped in barbed wire. My role in the hardcore style match was to manage Mike, but then turn on him, beat him with the barbed wire dildo. He was some kind of Hussein for Islamic patriarchy. I made him bleed. And it felt good. Wrestling helped me to stand up in my Muslim community. Omid Safi brought me into the Progressive Muslim Union and started me on a path challenging male religious authority in Islam. I organized woman-led prayers. I gave pre-khutbah talks at mosques here in North America, but most proudly so at the Claremont Main Road Mosque in Cape Town, South Africa, where Amina Wadood did it first. Unexpectedly, wrestling connected me to other women. All the young women at a Muslim school outside of Durban were huge fans of the WWE. They talked about their goals, and I showed them a few pro wrestling secrets. I trained at Do or Die Wrestling School under J.P. Black. Bumping is hard. My body did not trust me to take care of it. Bumping is falling under your own control. Someone may throw you, but you jump into the throw. You direct your own flip, and you land on your back. I wrote on my wrestling blog, "Today is a bump test. I was at the local cafe, and my violent and insane ex-husband came in. He lives over 5 hours away. He shouldn't be here. He knows this is where I work off campus. I started shaking. I gathered my things and I went out the back. I didn't even know if the cafe had a back door or not, but I wasn't going to walk by him. I got out into the alley, found my car nearby, and went and filled up with gas and came home. I wrote 4 versions of a note to leave on the door. The first one was panicked. If you so much as knock on this door, I will call the police. I finally got down to, if you need something from me or want to give me anything, please contact my lawyer, address and phone number of lawyer. Very matter of fact. I could learn how to say that in person if I ran into him. I don't have to be scared. He has no power over me. I take my own bumps. After 6 months of training, JP initiated me with a chop. A chop is a powerful, painful, dramatic slap across the chest popularized by Ric Flair. I had to stand in the corner of the ring, my arms slung back over the ropes, and let JP chop me, full on. While married, I'd never taken any pictures of the abuse, and I was unable to prove it in court. Now I had a picture of my chop as evidence of my strength and my survival.
If I was going to be any WWE wrestler, I'd want to be Melina. You know, but the problem is with Melina, it's the clothes she wears. Now, I'm a Muslim, so I can't dress like that. I can't do that walk up to the stage and put her leg on and have her ass out the way she does. I can't do that, right? So how would I do Melina? One of the things that I like about her is that she screams. I love Melina's scream, right? I love what kind of manager she is. I love it. She can really work a crowd. But since I'm a Muslim, right, I gotta do it in my own way. So I kind of figured out how to do that. I have my own costume that will let me do Melina's scream without showing the Melina ass. It's called a burqa. See, now I can stay true to my faith and be Melina. I can walk up and I can show my ass. I can yell. I can say, ah!
In August of 2007, over 80,000 people were in Detroit's Ford Field. My buddies, Kathleen Self, Mike Knight, Drew Carrick, and I were there celebrating the Prophet's Mawlid at WrestleMania 23. It was the most perfect WrestleMania weekend in all eternity. It must have been for the Prophet's sake. I got to meet my beloved Sabu. I saw the Sheik inducted into the Hall of Fame. We had 14th row ringside seats. Now who but God could arrange that? I put on hijab to meet Sabu at a photo op event. I thought it would be a good way to make introductions faster. Hey, I'm wearing a scarf. Guess who I am? When I walked up to him, he bowed slightly and said, Assalamu alaikum. I decided to keep the hijab on. It seemed to be working as a gimmick. I shouldn't have been surprised. Fellow colleague and wrestling fan Amir Hussain noted that the hijab has always been a gimmick. I started feeling comfortable in it, though. I started feeling comfortable being a public Muslim. I took the scarf on and off with the kind of nonchalance with which I push my sleeves up or down. One guy complimented me on my attire as an awesome gimmick. I told him I really am a Muslim, and he grinned. It was like that all weekend. No, really, I'm a Muslim. Grins all around. Mike Knight reminded me that the best gimmicks are true. When I was married, I was overly conscious of what a good Muslima acted like and looked like. I had been overly conscious of my clothing, my voice, my actions. It wasn't a Riyadh thing. I was conscious in private, too. I only wanted to please God. In public, if I said something I shouldn't, a good finger jab in the ribs from the ex would shut my mouth and lower my head. Well-intentioned or not, some of my Muslim brothers and sisters feel the need to share their advice with me. Most recently, I've heard that I should not speak about my life so openly. I should realize how people are talking about me. I should have some shame about the violence I've endured. But I cannot manage other people's expectations anymore. Maybe that's my gimmick. And the best gimmicks are true. Walhamdulillah.